Merci. Je donne maintenant la parole au distingué représentant de la Belgique.
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président. La Belgique s'associe pleinement à la déclaration faite par la Suède au nom de l'Union européenne. À sa création, le Conseil des droits de l'homme s'est vu assigner une lourde responsabilité, celle de renforcer la promotion et la protection des droits de l'homme à travers le monde. Cette tâche implique une vigilance de tous les instants. Elle suppose que le Conseil dénonce les situations les plus graves de violation des droits de l'homme et prenne les mesures appropriées pour y mettre un terme dès que possible. Monsieur le Président, la Belgique souhaiterait attirer l'attention du Conseil sur des situations qu'elle juge particulièrement préoccupantes au regard du respect des droits de l'homme. Ensuite, la répression violente des manifestations déclenchées à la suite de l'élection présidentielle en Iran. Trop souvent, les personnes ciblées n'auront eu que pour seul tort de faire usage de leur liberté de s'exprimer, de s'associer et de manifester pacifiquement. La Belgique appelle donc les autorités iraniennes à respecter leurs engagements au regard du pacte international relatif aux droits civils et politiques, et notamment à garantir la liberté d'expression, d'association, de manifestation et le droit de tout individu à un procès équitable. Concernant l'Irak, la Belgique s'inquiète des raids menés par les forces de sécurité irakiennes contre le camp Ashraf. Le recours à la force, s'il est jugé inévitable, doit être proportionné et respecter un minimum de standards internationalement agréés. La Belgique invite les autorités irakiennes à faire preuve de modération, à garantir l'acheminement de l'aide humanitaire et à élaborer une solution à long terme en accord avec les traités internationaux sur les droits de l'homme.
Thank you, Mr. President. International educational development welcomes the attention of the High Commissioner to situations of armed conflict, violence, and insecurity, and the initiative undertaken by the government of Hungary to establish an international center for the prevention of genocide and mass atrocities, as history has proved that people will ultimately resist oppression and tyranny. Regrettably, the message to oppressed people today seems to be that they must continue to suffer indefinitely because if they resist, they may be labeled terrorist, at least by third parties whose geopolitical interests are to the detriment of the victims, humanitarian law, human rights law, and the law of self-determination. This is the plight of the Tamil people in Sri Lanka, the Kurdish people in several countries, the Kashmiri people, several groups seeking separation from Burma, Myanmar, and those opposing the government of Iran. In Sri Lanka, some Kurdish areas, and in Burma, Myanmar, there has been ethnic cleansing. The Tamil people have suffered mass atrocities for years. The Irani people in Camp Ashraf in Iraq have been ruthlessly attacked, and their situation is precarious at best.
Floor to Women's Human Rights International Association. You have the floor.
Mr. President, our association focuses its activities on defending the victim of religious fundamentalism. Women are the foremost victim of this ideology. Therefore, it's not surprising if we are deeply concerned by women's suppression in Iran, which had in recent months entered a new phase. The High Commissioner referred to post-election human rights violations in...
There is a point of order. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Iran.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I would like to request you to prevent the speaker from continuing her statement at this juncture. I thank you, Mr. President.
As per the status of the NGO in question, I invite those concerned to raise such matters with the only competent body, namely the NGO committee of the ECOSOC. With this, Madam, I give you back the floor. Point of order again. Iran, you have the floor.
Women and youth have been present at the forefront of the extensive protests of the peoples which still continue despite severe suppression and massive arrests. In one horrible case, a young woman, Taraneh Mousavi, was arrested on June 20th during the street protest, and 2 weeks later, her burned corpse was found in the wetlands of the western Tehran after she had been raped. There have been many such a crime committed against women by paramilitary armed forces without any kind of accountability and without receiving punishment. Mr. President, under the present circumstances, suppression of the opposition groups is not limited to within the Iranian borders. In that respect, I would like to draw your attention to the situation of 3,400 Iranian, including 1,000 women, who reside in Camp Ashraf, Iraq, and need urgent attention and measures by the High Commissioner. Since 56 days ago, 36 of them have been arbitrarily arrested in Iraq and have been held unlawfully in the detention despite 2 consecutive verdicts by 2 Iraqi judges to release them. Therefore, our association is seeking the immediate release of these 36 people who have been on hunger strike for the past 55 days in protest to their arbitrary arrest, and their health state is rapidly deteriorating. We also urge the High Commissioner to act towards a permanent UN monitoring presence in Ashraf in conjunction with UNAMI in order to guarantee the security and protection of the residents of Ashraf. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sweden wants to make a point of order with reference to the rules of procedure, Rule 113. The distinguished colleague that just spoke, as far as we know, is not a member of this council. And our understanding of Rule 113 is that delegations that are not member of this council do not speak against rulings of the President. We understood what you said earlier, Mr. President, to be a ruling by you. Thank you very much.